up, guys? It's your boy, Barça Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Royal Antwerp versus Barcelona in the Champions League. It is the final group stage matchup of the Champions League, where Barcelona have not only already qualified but have pretty much 99.9% guaranteed top of the group. A miracle is needed for someone else to top this group. I don't even think Porto can top the group anymore. Only Shakhtar can do it, and it's going to take them an absolute miracle. So with that being said, this is Barcelona's first meaningless competitive match of the season, where the goal is to win the game in order to get 3 million euros from, winning a Champions League game, not to get points or anything like that on the table. But following the last match, which was very disappointing against Girona over the past weekend, the players out there need to go out there and put a performance in and make their mark and restore some confidence in the fan base. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local times, your regular kickoff time in the Champions League. And this match will be taking place in Belgium at the Bosuilstadion, which of course is the home of Royal Antwerp. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed, and on the pitch it will be the Italian referee Marco Gueda, who will be refereeing his first match with Barcelona. And on the VR is another Italian, and Paolo Valeri. Let's start off by taking a look at Barcelona's Champions League group. But keep in mind, this is going to be the final time there's going to be a Champions League group in the Champions League, because next season is going to be this whole entire league format, which is a bit weird. Anyways, Barcelona currently sat on 12 points, top of their group. After playing 5 matches, we have 4 wins, 1 loss. Of course, that 1 loss coming against Shakhtar. Second place Porto, and third place Shakhtar, both on 9 points, and they will be battling it out to see who will qualify for the next round and who will be going to the Europa League. Of course, Antwerp have already been eliminated. They've played 5 games and have 5 losses. Now we're going to go into it quickly. The only way for Barcelona to not finish second. Again, we have 100% qualified for the next round, but there is a it's like the latest spectacle that Barcelona could finish second place. The only thing that can prevent Barcelona from topping Group H is if Barcelona lose to Antwerp and Shakhtar beat Porto, and Shakhtar also have to overtake Barcelona on goal difference, and currently Barcelona's goal difference is 7 better than Shakhtar, which means that Shakhtar have to beat Porto 7-0 and hope Barcelona lose by a significant margin to Antwerp as well. At this point, Porto cannot overtake Barcelona anymore, because I believe head-to-head does come in first. It would be Porto both home and away twice. So again, we would have to lose to Antwerp, and Shakhtar would have to beat Porto, let's say 4-0, 5-0, then Barcelona would have to lose maybe 3-0 or something like that to Antwerp. Basically, it's going to take a miracle, and it's not going to happen. Even if Barcelona loses the game probably by 1 goal, Shakhtar will not be beating Porto by more than 1 goal. And also, Shakhtar are playing away. It is going to be happening at the El Drago in Portugal, so Porto have home field advantage as well. Shakhtar ain't cooking Porto like that. They could maybe get a draw, but they ain't gonna absolutely batter them. So in theory, Barcelona will finish first 100%. That's pretty much guaranteed at this point, and we can actually tell that from the squad list that Xavi selected, which we'll talk about later on. Nonetheless, though, another year in the Champions League where Barcelona topped their group, the first time in a while, of course, and that won't change once this match day is over. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Royal Antwerp. We're going to fly through the game analysis very quickly, because Antwerp is not really a great side, and also this game doesn't really mean much. Now, the last time we played Antwerp was probably one of the best weeks I've had as a Barcelona fan in a very, very long time, when we absolutely battered them 5-0 at the Luis Campos Stadium in Montjuic. Probably our second, if not best, performance of the entire season. We were playing some fantastic football. We were scoring goals, finishing our chances, dominating the play. Antwerp, I think, only had like a sniff in the first half. Well, that was it, and they were absolutely quiet throughout the entirety of the game. It was a vintage Barcelona performance, and you can see the lineup, of course, on the right hand side of your screen. A very similar lineup to what we saw over the past weekend against Girona, and ended up losing 4-2. So how the turns have tabled, you could say. Now, if you take a look at Antwerp's last 5 matches in all competition, in the last league match, they won 3-1. They won a Belgium Cup game 5-2. They won another league game 1-0. They lost to Shakhtar 1-0 in Champions League in their last Champions League matchup, and they also had a draw in the Belgium League as well. I think they're near the top of the Belgian League, as they should be for their expectations, of course. Let's now take a look at the last 3 matches. First is a 1-0 win in the Belgian Pro League. Again, it was a very dominant performance at home as well, so you expect it to be a very dominant performance, but in this case it wasn't. It was a 1-0 win, the 1 goal coming in late on in the second half as well, but it was still a vintage performance from Antwerp. Next up is their 5-2 cup win. Which again isn't really something that you can analyze too much, even though the only reason why I'm covering it is because they didn't actually rotate that much. They still played a fairly strong side. Again, they are at home, so you expect them to win. They ended up winning 5-2. Absolutely no worries there whatsoever. But the last one's competition, of course, was a league game over the past weekend. They did play on Saturday, so you could say they're coming into the match with some extra rest because, of course, Barcelona ended up playing on Sunday. So 3-1 win for them. They were played away from home as well. You can see the lineup, of course, on the screen. Very something similar to what we'll see tomorrow at home. Again, very a lot of players that have experience and have been playing at the top level in the past. And of course, you have the guy there, Arturo Vermeeren, who Barcelona have been heavily linked with recently. But again, they did concede a goal, which is is not really what Antwerp want to do, especially when they're trying to dominate the Pro League alongside the likes of Genk and other teams. But nonetheless, though, they have secured the 3 points. So overall, final thoughts on Royal Antwerp. I think for their expectations, for their size of their club, they are a good side. But in retrospect to the big boys in the Champions League, not the best team in the world. Let's keep it very blunt and honest. But their manager is a former Barcelona player, and Mark van Bommel, of course, started the Champions League final in 2006 for Barcelona, won the Champions League for Barcelona as well. So there's some kind of connection there. And again, this is a match where you have to keep in mind there's no pressure for either side. Antwerp have already been eliminated, Barcelona have already qualified and probably guaranteed first place. So you're gonna see more of a fight from Antwerp because they want to at least get a point in their Champions League campaign. I believe this is their first time in the Champions League ever, so they want to at least get a point. They're gonna be at home. Barcelona's in town. The stadium is gonna be full. Again, there's no expectation from either side, but I think Antwerp are going to be coming into this match full flow. They have nothing to lose. They want to go out there, show what they can do, maybe put their mark on future Champions League campaigns. And again, they do have a fairly decent side on paper, of course. The experience of Toby Alderweireld, their captain at the back. Koulibaly, I believe, who's on loan from Dortmund. He's a very good young player. Of course, Arturo Vermeeren, who you have been linked with in the midfield. Wendell at left back as well, very experienced. I think he played for Ajax as well. Vincent Janssen up front, a very experienced player who's played a lot of top clubs in the past. So they're a side that can definitely are capable of beating Barcelona, especially on our off day. And whether or not we're going to have an off day or not remains to be seen. But I think, again, Antwerp definitely have the opportunity to get a result here. It's just not that Barcelona giving them that opportunity or not. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match was released and confirmed. It was actually released yesterday, so very earlier than what we usually expect. And it is as follows: Cancelo, Balde, Varane, Pedri, Raphinha, Inaki Pena, Joao Felix, Christensen, Romeu, Roberto, Koundé, Astrolaga, Lamine Yamal, Angel Alecron, Marc Casado, Cochin, Fermin Lopez, Pau Gobrasi, Alex Gaido, Marc Gueyu, and Hector Ford. So of course, a lot of youngsters as we expect in the final game of the Champions League, where you're pretty much guaranteed first place. But 4 key players for Barcelona left at home: Robert Lewandowski, Frenkie de Jong, Ronald Araujo, and Ilky Gundogan have been left in Catalan, where they will be getting entire week off. I understand it completely from Xavi. I think Lewandowski should be paying for his crimes and should be traveling week in, week out. I don't mind the likes of Araujo, De Jong, and Gundogan getting rotated and rested, but I think Lewandowski should be in the squad for sure. But again, a lot of youngsters, excited to see maybe Hector Ford get some minutes. I think Marc Gueyu has only played, 1 game since his goal against Athletic Club. Gaido has, of course, had a lot of promise and is very close to Xavi. Xavi, of course, gave his debut against Elche last season. Will we finally see Gobrasi come in at center back? I think there could be an option. Angel Alecron as well up front. He's come back from this injury that he's been suffering with for a long time. Very exciting squad. And again, when there's no expectation and there's no meaning for this game, I just excited to see some youngsters on the pitch and maybe even see a couple of debuts in this game. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Inaki Pena. As we all know, during the Champions League, a player always accompanies the manager in the press conference, and today Inaki Pena was selected to be the player. Let's go and see what Inaki had to say this afternoon in Belgium. He came out saying, "I prepared myself by training every single day just in case the opportunity comes your way or there is an unfortunate event, as that would happen with Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. In a club like Barcelona, you always have to be prepared, and it comes to you from 0 to 100 in a moment, because 3 important games in a row have to come against Porto, Atletico, and Girona. You prepare for this." We didn't expect this result against Girona, but the group is still united. We must learn from our mistakes. I'm delighted and very happy to be able to respond to my teammates and the coaches. It's a very strong emotion for a homegrown player to have the fans chant your name and show their affection towards you. Any team is always under construction and evolving. From the start of the season, you will evolve, and we're trying to improve. I've always said that my idol since I was a child was Victor Valdez, for example, for how he overcomes adversity, of character, of knowing how to play, and I do see myself ready to emulate that. I've been training with Ter Stegen every single day now for many years, and being able to learn from one of the best goalkeepers in the world, you can try to copy and learn, and the most positive thing is from him is going to make you improve, although you have your patterns since you were a child. And finally, Inaki Pena concluded off by saying that last year the team had a defensive record that was very difficult to match. It's true that we conceded more. These are circumstances of the matches. We don't have to blame anything on any line. If you attack better, you defend better. As a club, we have to focus on attacking better, and that will of course coincide with the defense being solid. And that concluded Inaki Pena's press conference reaction to the match against Royal Antwerp tomorrow. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Xavi Hernandez, who of course accompanied Inaki Pena after his press conference this afternoon in Belgium. He was asked by media about a lot of questions, of course, after that big defeat against Girona. So let's get and see what the gaffer had to say this morning in the presser. He started off by saying that with the staff, we try to focus on what we can control to train the players with a maximum demand every single day. I told my staff in Qatar when Laporta called me to be ready that there would be criticism at some point and they have to adapt. In the staff, we are all born Culés and we know how demanding this club is. We're sure that the criticism from the outside, and it's normal for especially after our loss against Girona, like the way we did, but from the inside we're angry because we lost despite doing a lot of things to win. It was the same against Real Madrid. We played better, but we didn't control the two areas. We lacked effectiveness, and now we have to react because it is an important game, even though we've already been done our homework in the Champions League and have already qualified. When I say that we're under construction, it's because we have to improve things with new players, young players. We can't from the Europa League, but with the maximum demand to win. I mean to be consistent to achieve challenge. I'm not saying that I need time. I'm saying that we must play better. A month and a half ago, I already said that I think that we are already at the halfway mark based on the projected project. Of course, if we don't win the league and the Super Cup last year, I wouldn't be here right now. We always have to win. That for me is a crucial line from Xavi, combining, of course, defending what he said after the match against Girona, saying that we're still under construction because right now he sees Barcelona at the halfway point of the Laporta Xavi project, and he is right. If he doesn't win the 2 titles last season, he would have been sacked, especially if he only won just the Super Cup, he would have been sacked. I think just winning the league might have had him surviving, but he's absolutely spot on, Xavi. This is why I don't understand people saying Xavi out, when there's first of all no viable replacement, and second of all, he's doing everything correct. And like Xavi said, we lost a game against Real Madrid at home and Girona because we lost in the 2 key areas. Defensively, we were sleeping and lackluster, and in the attack, we weren't finishing our chances. Now, Xavi was then asked about the squad list. If you guys don't know, I mentioned, of course, the squad list a few minutes ago, but the squad list has changed, where we did see Araujo, Lewandowski, and Gundogan travel with the team. Frenkie de Jong stayed in Barcelona because, according to reports, he does have a fever. He's not injured. He is apparently just has a cold, so he's staying in Barcelona. But Gundogan, Lewandowski, and Araujo have traveled. 100% they will not play, but they have stayed with the group, and Xavi has given his reasons. He said that it's good that people are involved. Lewandowski, Araujo, and Gundogan came at the end because in the end we had to spend the night in Belgium. It changed the plan, and it's also good for us to stick together. We decided as a club, the president, Deco, the players, the techniques, the staff, it changed in the itinerary one night in Antwerp, and that's why we changed the squad list. So the reason being why those 4 players weren't included initially is because they were, of course, going to travel to Belgium same day, play the game, return back same day, so there's no point. But now that we're spending the night, he wants the team Xavi to stay united, which of course is a good thing. He was then asked on whether or not Lewandowski, Araujo, and Gundogan will play, did they have a chance, or the case may be, and Xavi said we'll decide tomorrow, but it's a good time for the youngsters to play, or for the players who have very few opportunities lately to participate. It's normal and logical for us to make changes in this game. The idea is to make changes to rest those who have muscular fatigue. They have it, and we'll see. We will decide tomorrow. He then asked on the manager of Antwerp, Mark Van Bommel, of course, former teammate. They won the Champions League together. He said that Van Bommel understands me. He has empathy. I have a very good relationship with him. He has the ability and leadership to do great things. He's doing a great job. He leaves his stamp on with a game of association. He's a very good coach, and he will be for the future. He has drawn in a difficult group with Barcelona, Porto, and an unknown but very complicated side like Shakhtar Donetsk. And finally, Xavi concluded off by mentioning the Girona match one last time, saying that for me that they were very clear. We had many chances against Girona, not the 31, but the 6 or 7 that should have been clear cut goals, which of course we all knew that. There's no lack of closing games. It didn't happen against Madrid. We have suffered in the matches that we have won because we didn't close them well, and against Girona we even had it at 3-3 at the end, so we could have made a comeback, but we have to improve our effectiveness and defensive forcefulness. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Royal Antwerp tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it will be damn near impossible to get all 11 out of 11 because you don't know where he's going to rotate, what his priority is going to be, and what kind of lineup he will implement. But I think that Xavi will go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Inaki Pena in goal, a back four of Sergio Roberto, Jules Koundé, Andreas Christensen, and Alejandro Balde. Midfield three of Oriol Romeu, Pedri, and Fermin Lopez. And a front three of Raphinha, Ferran Torres, and João Felix. This for me is the best lineup that Xavi can pick with that squad list. And I think Xavi will pick that. I think he wants to go out there and wants to get a win, wants to get that extra 3 million for winning a game in the Champions League. Does not want to make us look as bad as we already are. And of course, he has to go out there and get a result. I don't think we can, if he does a fully rotated side like Hector Fort starting and Angel Alecron starting up front and we lose, I would understand, I wouldn't care, but of course, that is not a reality. In terms of the defense, I think it's pretty much set in stone. I think 100% Inaki Pena, Roberto, Christensen, and Balde will start. The other center back is probably between Koundé and Kobrasi. I can't really see anything else being changed. I think that midfield three, very, very solid. I personally think that midfield three is pretty much set in stone. Of course, the front three, there can be some movements. We can't see, again, Marc Gueyu, Angel Alecron, but we can see, of course, Lamine Yamal start this game. Whether he'll be for Raphinha or João Felix remains to be seen. But I think apart from this lineup, we could maybe see 1 or 2 changes. I think if there's a wholesale changes from this lineup, I would be very shocked. But that's the lineup I think that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup prediction, and I have gone with a fully rotated side. I've gone with Inaki Pena in goal, a back four of Koundé, Kobrasi, Christensen, and Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Romeu, Roberto, and Fermin Lopez, and a front three of Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, and Raphinha. So my thought process is that I really want to pick a lineup that can have some rotation, but I also don't want to start key players. So for me, the most important thing when Xavi picks his lineup tomorrow, I pray he does not start Pedri. There is no need, no point to start Pedri in any capacity whatsoever. Everyone else I think is fair game. I've gone with Koundé at right back because we have no one else. I think Koundé has been pretty poor recently and should also pay for his crimes alongside Lewandowski. But I did consider putting Hector Fort in there. I think if Hector Fort has already played a game for the first team, I would have started him. But with him playing no minutes for the first team, I didn't really want to risk it. I've gone with Kobrasi. You know what? There's a lot of hype around him, and I think we should make some movements at the back. I would start him and see what he's made of. And of course, Christensen only played about 50 minutes against Girona. He of course has been out for a few days with the birth of his second child, so I'll definitely chuck him in there. Balde, save for him. Romeu's got no minutes over the past few games. Same with Fermin Lopez. Roberto, I think since he's come back from injury, Roberto, I don't even think he's stepped on the pitch yet, so get him in there. Lamine Yamal for me has to start. A very exciting performance that he had against Girona. I would definitely give him the nod. I've started Raphinha on the left. You're probably thinking, Barca boy, you're very, very adamant. Raphinha on the left wing is useless. 100%. I still stand by that. But again, he must pay for his crimes. I'm chucking him out there simply just to get some confidence and momentum and maybe score a free kick or a penalty or something to make him feel better. And I've gone with Ferran Torres up front. Again, I think the first subs off the bench for me would be Hector Fort for sure. I would like to see Guaido in the midfield, Angel Alecron and Marc Gueyu. I really prioritize the B team players coming in ahead of the first team players in my opinion. But that's the lineup that I have selected for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I have officially predicted Barcelona to win this game by 3-1. We have to, and I mean we have to, score more than 2 goals in this effing game. We have not scored more than 2 goals since the last time we played Antwerp back in September. Was the last time Barcelona won a game by more than 2 goals. We have got to win this game by more than 2 goals. I've gone with 3-1. I think we will concede, especially with the atmosphere in Antwerp. They just want to see a goal probably against Barcelona as well. Oh, yeah, and all this hype. I'm hoping that we can just win by 2 goals. That's all I really want from this game. Again, we want that 3 million to go towards the club for winning a Champions League game, win a game by more than 2 goals. That's all I really need from this game. I really don't care about the performance. I want to see some youngsters get some minutes. Again, if we draw this game, wouldn't care. If we lose by 1 goal, I wouldn't care. If we lose by 2 goals, I would care. I really would. But again, it comes down to so many things. What the line selection will be, what's the priority, what's going to happen. So For me, it's about to go out there, just watch Barcelona, enjoy the club that I love to watch, with no worries in my opinion. But please, please win this game by more than 2 goals. But my official prediction is Barcelona winning this game by 3 goals to 1. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that was my match preview for Royal Antwerp versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly on those lineups. First, you would either pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Follow, share for the match, about my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's get 3 points and let's please win a game by more than 2 goals. Take care and Forza Barça.